Hey guys, it's Elijah Bickel, the newest member of Team Discmania, coming at you with the In the Bag for the 2019 season. I'm really excited to be representing Discmania this season. Yeah, and now I'll get to the In the Bag. First off, I'll start with the bag itself. It's a Grip Equipment AX3. I figured with the new year and the new sponsorship, move on to this bag, and it's working well for me. And next up, I'll go to the disc. First off, I'll start with my putting putters, which is the Discmania P-Line P2. I like it because it's stiff, beadless, it comes out of my hand clean, and it can hold up in the wind really well. Next up, I'll go to my driving putters. They're both P3Xs. I have a D-Line, which I use for approach shots and understable and straight shots off the tee, and I feel I have really good distance control with the D-Line plastic. And then the S-Line P3X, it's for more overstable shots off the tee, and I can trust this in the wind. Next up, I'll go on to mid-ranges. First off, I'll start with my most overstable mid-range. It's a C-Line MD5. I can compare it to a Gator. It's about as stable as that. I can trust it in the wind, really reliable. It's a great utility disc. Next up, I'll go to my most understable mid-range. It's a C-Line MD. It's a really straight flying mid-range, great for beginners, and you can throw it on any angle. It holds that angle. I can throw it on an anhyzer, it'll stay anhyzer, it'll hold that line, whatever line you put it on. Next up, I'll go to the SG Line MD1. I basically have this in the bag for winter rounds or rainy rounds where I need better grip because this plastic is really grippy. That's what I use that for. It flies pretty much the same as my C-Line MD. Next up, I have a Lazat C-Line MD4. I beat this in to go really straight, but it also has that touch of fade at the end where I can really trust it in the wind, and yeah, it's really good. I have a bunch of aces with this too, so that's good. And next up, my overstable C-Line MD4. Flies kind of like a Rock 3 if you compare it to Innova. Throw it out, it goes straight, fades left every time. Great disc. Next up, I'll go to my Fairway Drivers. First up, I have a G-Line FD. This is really understable. I throw this for rollers or big sky annies off the tee. It's a really good roller disc, really good for beginners, and great grip with the G-Line plastic. Next up, I have a C-Line FD. This is a really straight disc. It's again like that C-Line MD where I could throw it on any angle and it holds it. Those are great discs that fly like that. Yeah. Next up, I have a C-Line FD3. This is overstable. It's kind of like the Discmania's Firebird in a sense. But yeah, it's really overstable. You throw it out, it goes straight, fades left every time. You can trust it in the wind. And really controllable disc. Next up, I'll go to the S-Line PD. This is a really utility fairway driver. You can crank on these. I have a more beaten in one for straighter shots. This just goes dead straight. I can power down on it. They fly like distance drivers, but they control like fairway drivers, so it's the great thing about them. PD, one of my favorite discs in the bag. And I believe this one's a first run with the patent numbers on the back, so it makes this one extra special. Next up, I'll go to my distance drivers. First up, I have an S-Line CD3. This is basically like a longer and straighter version of a PD. Flies really far. I can use this for many different things: rollers, straight shots, control shots, pretty much anything. Next up, I have a really old S-Line DD2. It's got the old Frenzy stamp on it. I basically use this for rollers, or if I'm trying to get tricky on the course and throw a trick shot or whatever. That's what this is used for. And then next up, the rest of them are PD2s really. This one's old beaten in S-line PD2. It's understable. I could throw it for big annies or distant shots. This is probably the farthest flying disc in my bag if I catch it right. Next up, I have a Glow C-line PD2. This one's a really straight flyer. I could throw it down tunnels, long distance tunnels in the woods, out in the open. It's a really straight flyer. Holds pretty much any angle I put it on. It's a great flyer. Next up, I got a Disc Golf World Tour, a USDGC PD2. This one's got a little bit of dome to it and gives it that extra glide, and it's an overstable PD2. Throw it out and it fades left every time. I can trust it in the wind. And then next up is my most overstable PD2. This was the run that was made with the bubbles in the rim, so it's really overstable. I can trust it in the wind, trust it in any situation to always come back. And yeah, definitely probably one of the most overstable discs in my bag. And that's it for the discs. We can go into what's in my side pouches. This pouch has I got some markers, pens, no Sharpies in case I ever need them. I have this is a golf ball where the only perfect round I ever shot. I found this golf ball that day, so I keep this as a good luck charm. I have a PDJ rulebook. This is something I feel it's really important to carry in case there's something that comes up during a tournament or something and we need to figure out what the rule is on it. I have this for that. Then I have a reusable scorecard, comes in handy sometimes. And a flashlight just in case I ever need it to look in murky water for a disc, or at night in case you're playing a blow around, you need to see our lines. And down here in this pocket I just got a mini that I used to mark my disc around. And then if we go over to this pocket, I have a birdie bag in here, and always use that for grip in case hands get sweaty. I actually carry a sand block in case a disc catches a bird or it hits a tree or something and there's a little bump on it that I like to sand down, make it feel smooth again. I have a disc retriever in case me or one of my card mates lands in the lake or a pond or whatever body of water there is. We can try and get it with this. And then I have an umbrella in case there's rainy round or in case rain just pops up. I always want to be prepared for that. And that's it for the side pouches, and yeah, that's it for the in the bag. More about the sponsorship, I'm really excited to be representing Discmania. They're a great company, a great vision for the future of the sport. I anticipate they're going to continue to do big things for the sport, and couldn't be more proud to represent a company than Discmania. Great company, you should check them out, and maybe their disc will help you reinvent your game too. Peace out.